Hi, hope you're all doing good. Learning is fun. When I say learning is fun, I literally mean it. And when you realize the fact that learning is fun, don't you think that acts as an intrinsic source of motivation? Of course, yes. When you realize that learning is fun, it itself will enable you maintain the momentum and you literally enjoy your preparation, which is really more important. So learning is fun, and realizing the fact that learning is fun and enjoying your learning as such will act as a source of intrinsic motivation, which will help you maintain the momentum. And as I said, most importantly, enjoying your preparation is the key. And for the past 2 days, I had some experiences. I wanted to share those experiences with you because those experiences really excited me and pumped me up. They acted as a source of motivation for me, in fact. So, in the recent study club discussion, I have posted several questions and I left few questions unanswered. The first question is, how do you minimize pain practically? Cough reflex, hypnosis, binoculars technique, etc. And the second question is, what is phantom limb pain and what is the basis for phantom limb pain? So these were some of the questions which I asked and left them unanswered. And I said, if at all anyone is interested, you can refer, get back through mail for discussion. So I said and I left it. And to my surprise, few students referred not just one or two textbooks, not just one or two sites in Google, but in fact they have referred standard textbooks, standard articles, and they'll come back through mail with elaborate, in-depth analysis of those topics which I left unanswered. And the reason why I said I'm really impressed with that and inspired by their gesture is, see, it happens only when you're genuinely interested in learning things. When you feel like you have something to learn, when you feel like learning as such is fun, you'll have that intrinsic drive to open a book, refer, get back for discussion. And I've experienced it through my students yesterday. And even today I've been getting mails regarding the same. Rohit has come with some elaborate explanations by referring 2 or 3 standard textbooks along with references. Papya Das has done the same, and Pandit has done the same, and even Lakshmi Kaura, right? So a lot many students came back with references. And what makes these questions more interesting is the first question which I said, that how do you minimize pain? I've given you some options, right? Hypnosis, binoculars technique, and cough reflex, etc. These questions were framed based on one particular program in a Nat Geo, National Geographic Channel. We have a program called You Can't Lick Your Elbow. So I watched that program. So there was a discussion on the topic physiology of pain in our study club. So I felt it was relevant. I have posed the question based on that program. You Can't Lick Your Elbow, that's the name of the program. And they have shown some practical tips on how you can minimize pain by following certain techniques like cough reflex, binoculars technique, and so many, right? So in fact, some of the students even came back through that YouTube link, the program's link, and they said they have watched the video and they have understood in detail what the concept is all about. See, this happens. The reason I have been discussing this is it shows their interest. It shows your interest. It shows your dedication towards learning. And since you realize that learning is fun, you are doing it. No one is really pushing you, isn't it? Who is pushing you? It's you who are pushing yourself. It's because of your intrinsic motivation, which you have gained by realizing the fact that learning is fun. And I have even more important things to say. So usually we have discussions 4 times or 3 times a week. We even have early morning discussions, 5:30 a.m. We have discussions at 5:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. And see, when I say 5:30 a.m., it's really a challenge to wake up early in the morning. Who wakes up so early in the morning for sake of studying that too? If it were for other reasons, maybe we can predict, okay. But for sake of academic discussion, but I see many students that I would like to name them because you need to understand that you're doing extremely good. You need to understand the fact that it's no easy task to wake up early in the morning, that too for sake of academic discussions. It only means that you realize the importance of learning. You feel that learning is fun, but not a sort of some pressure or force, right? So Pranav, Rohit, Lakshmi, Sakshi, Mehwash, Indu, Sai Srija, Srihita, Rakshita, Tanya, and many more. Anika Sharma, Neha Gupta, Anurimia, Sarita, Sheikh Ali, right, and Gauri, right. We have tens and tens of students who are active even during morning sessions. Again, it shows just one thing. It reinforces the very basic concept that when you realize the fact that learning is fun, there is nothing someone has to do to push you. You will take care of your own preparation, and most importantly, you will enjoy your preparation. And finally, before I conclude this video, I have one final experience which really inspired me. See, all my teaching is about not just scoring an exam for sake of ranks or marks. See, that eventually happens if you are dedicated, if you're giving your best. See, good outcomes are natural eventualities rather than obtaining them by force. But what inspired me is this specific message from one of my students, Panduranga, who said, okay, he was asking me a question, I gave him some suggestions, and he says, I quote, "Yes sir, I will try to implement your suggestions. The best thing what I have adapted from your teachings is preparation is not aimed at cracking exam, but it's a process to explore subjects, explore myself, know my limits, being consistent, and also seeking enjoyment from preparation, and good results will eventually occur. So the best thing is I'm enjoying what I'm doing, so I'll maintain consistency with this momentum." Such a beautiful message, and in fact, this summarizes my entire teaching pattern. I've been working on this for years together, and I'm glad that many of you are able to connect with this personally. Preparation is not just about scoring marks, ranks, or trying to impress others. It's all about realizing your own potential. It's all about understanding your pros and cons and giving your best each and every moment. And when you realize that learning is fun, you'll enjoy the process. So these are some of the experiences which I had for the past couple of days, and I wanted to share them at any cost, because if I neglect now, if I think like, okay, let me do this video a bit later, I might forget this and it might just go away from my mind. So I just sat right in front of my laptop. I'm just having some cam here, and I'm trying to record this so that I can share the positivity and inspiration which I have gained from you. By sharing it with you, I'm sure it's going to get amplified, right? So these are some of the kind of experiences I had. In fact, I have these experiences on day-to-day basis, and this keeps me charged up. So realize the very fact that learning is fun. You experience it, you'll enjoy your preparation, and there is no stopping you, and the world is all yours. Proud to be dentist.